Family? You're tuned in to Real Ass Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. It is Thursday, September 21st. Happy birthday to my brother Dwayne Miller. My birthday, my brother. We are twins, even though we're 6 months apart. That is not possible but I'm adopted. Anyway,
your mama just quit pushing after a while, huh?
Yeah. I'm
just like,
I'm
ooh.
adopted. Hey, that would always kill people. Like y'all, how we're 6 months apart. Wait a minute, that's not. Yeah, so happy birthday to my brother, man.
Nerd story, Ken. I saw one time on TV. They removed one baby and left the other baby and the mom. And one baby was born like 3 weeks before the other baby, or something, or 3 days. It was twins. And something had to be done, like emergency medical thing. I don't remember if it was a preemie situation. I think it was a preemie too. And they were able to remove one. So technically these two are twins that are like a week apart or something.
Wow, B.
Science.
That's science. That voice you hear is Miguel Colon Jr., fresh from Austin, Texas, getting his brisket on. Also joined the virtual studio with the big dog, Mr. James John. But we got to...
Wait, man. I just thought about what today really is.
What is it?
Do you
National
remember?
Cheeseburger Day?
When we made love in September.
The 21st of September. This is that Earth, Wind, and Fire, baby.
Yeah, man.
The 21st, man.
And the 21st is bad for me, bro, because that song is great. It's my brother's birthday, but this is the day my mama passed.
Oh, wow, man. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Damn.
Why you trying to, can we try to talk about Earth, Wind, and Fire? You bringing up all the sadness?
Look here. Don't be sad. I ain't give her diabetes. Look. Hey,
bruh.
My mama would have wanted this. I was telling my friend today about my mama passing. Because his mom is sick. I said, yeah, my mama passed the 21st, my brother's birthday and everything. And I said the day before, she was at my niece's wedding, her oldest grandchild. She was looking at my family, and she was so proud of what she's built at the matriarch of the family. And then the nurse found her on the floor dead the next day. He said, that's sad. I said, yeah, man, because that nurse had to pick my mama big ass up, bro.
Wow. He's stupid.
I said, I feel bad for the nurse, son.
Bruh. Hey, kid, how come at a black funeral, how come the first person to fall out never skinny? Mm-hmm. How come the one you got to pick up when she fall out screaming?
Never skinny, man.
Because them ankles give quick.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people too at that wedding. It's like, ooh, you know what though? I don't got to return this suit. They said I could hold it for a month. This is gonna work out. Hey, Kenny, can we do the funeral tomorrow? Man's Warehouse said I got to bring this suit back on Sunday.
Oh man, but we got to get to our special guest, man. He will be closing out Funny Fridays at the South Stage at the Orlando Improv this Friday, September 22nd. James, I think we're on week six or seven, like week 6 or 7.
Think so. I've been to quite a few and enjoyed myself. It's very funny. Y'all need to definitely come out here.
Man, please come out and check it out, man. I cannot say his last name, so he know that I'm just gonna call him, and put your hands together for Marvin Izzy, everybody. Marvin Izzy.
What up, Marv?
What up, y'all?
Thank you for kicking it with us, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate the invite, man.
Hey, man, we comic book guys on here. We got to know the origin story, brother. How long have you been doing comedy? Where did you do your first show, and how was it?
All right. Well, yeah, I started 13 years ago. I didn't even start in like an open mic or nothing. I started as a duo. No lie. It was me and my best friend Nando.
Like
I was so serious.
Brothers?
Yeah, it was like Sklar
Marvin
Brothers. Yeah. Oh man. So,
what was the puppet's name?
It was named Miguel. Because we Puerto Ricans. So we started as a duo, man. And our first show, we did. It wasn't like no bad experience and shit, but then in New York, you gotta like pay for open mics starting off and shit, and he ain't had the funds to keep going.
Cussing. You can't curse on radio.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah, 2 things, Marvin. I'm gonna need a little less energy on the curse words and a little more energy on the story. Okay. Imagine you ask Spider-Man. Here, let me run it back. Imagine you ask Spider-Man his story. He's like, yeah, whatever, man. Some spider bit me. My uncle died. You know the game. What up, Doc?
You can't curse on radio.
This whole thing about to get blurted out. Okay, all right. Take 2.
Which is crazy because in the beginning I was like, hey, you can't curse. So you wasn't listening to me at all.
No, I did, because you keep stuttering every word you were saying. So my bad, everyone.
It's all right. Go back to this thrilling story.
Oh yeah, it was really thrilling. Yeah. No, we started as a duo, and then like I said, it was we did good, but then he didn't have the funds to keep paying for these open mics, so I kept
Because
going.
in New York, you have to pay. It's
Yeah,
pay to
it was
play,
like
right?
$5 for 5 minutes, get a one drink minimum. It was just
My
like
man couldn't come up with the $5 open mic fee. He's like, Marvin, man, they bleeding us. I had to go get an SBA loan.
Word.
You know,
At
But I kept
SBA.
going on. I kept going on in New York for like 4 years, bombing and not even knowing because I ain't really had a sense of way. I was just giving away my money at that point. So my whole
Wow.
4 years was terrible. And then
So
yeah.
when did it take a change for you though? When did you?
I think tomorrow.
When did it turn? You like, man, I think I can really do it now. Like I feel like I'm getting somewhere. When did that turn for you in your career?
Actually, is when I moved to Florida.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to say about Florida then, because New York's one of those places that people move to go do comedy. But I think Florida, and I'm biased because I'm from here, I think especially Orlando, it's a great growing spot. As far as coming here, working on your craft, you get stage time and you practice. I think it's a great place for up and coming people to actually come and start doing comedy and get better at it. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's what I learned here was like, all right, so like I said, it was like first 4 years of me doing comedy. I was just like bombing all over the place or just doing mid sets thinking, oh, I killed when I wasn't doing any of that. And,
It happens to a lot of folks.
when I moved over here, I've met a lot of you guys, and what I've learned was structure was what helped build my set. It was
Mm-hmm.
developing a structure, knowing you found something that's funny, but how does that build? How does that go into like the set and grow? And that's where I learned where structure was. So I feel like I've had my training, and I'm ready to go back to New York too sometime and redeem myself. But
There you go.
Florida is where really my credit I give to a lot when it comes to comedy.
I'm curious, man, and this is not a knock. Don't take this as a knock. You're not a super exciting, full of energy type person. I would never, if I knew you back in the day, thought you would do stand up. Why stand up comedy?
Comedy kind of chose me in that random sense. It was like when me and my buddy started as this duo, it was because we was just hanging out, partying with some old friends back in the day, and he was suggesting was like, yo, shouldn't we do something together? Like, this is before podcasts
You
came
think he
out
was
and
hitting
stuff.
on you that night though?
Nah,
He was like, "Hey man, you think we should do something?"
it wouldn't be different than any other day, though. You know what I mean? Like this
And you just took it the wrong way. You like, you want to do comedy? He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
No, so it was one of the girls. It was one of the
Marvin was
girls.
like, yo, we should do comedy. He's like, oh, my bad. Let me put my
Okay,
shirt
yeah.
back on.
Hey, you know what?
And then Marvin like, "Why you got your pants off? He's so goofy. This is why we should do comedy. This is why we should do comedy. Look at his erect penis. He's silly. You're silly."
We still discussed it while it was erect. So it was, and he thought it was a great idea. No, it was this one girl who saw us and was like, "Hey, I could put you guys on stage," and that's where we was like clueless and just stupid about it. We're just like, let's just tear it up and see what we can do. And,
So what was it? What were you got back and forth, or did you have like he said, did you have a puppet, or you just was back and forth?
Yeah, we actually did prepare some material. Like we had a basis, a foundation of, and it was bouncing off of each other, working on setups or punchlines within each other. We didn't even know that's what that was before.
Gotcha. You guys were green to comedy. You had no idea what was going on.
Nah, dude, that was literally my first time doing comedy. I was not alone. I had someone with me. Like
which is different, which is very different because most people don't have anybody on stage. They by themselves. Like you by your damn self.
Yeah, and it wasn't like an open mic or anything we went to. This girl signed us up to a comedy contest, which had like bring seven bringers, and we brought our numbers and we did this competition, and yeah, it was like we had to do 10 minutes off rip between me and him. And I still don't even know how we survived that, honestly.
Did you win the competition?
Oh, no, not at all.
They couldn't
No,
come
not
up
at
with
all.
the $15 to move to the next round. His
Oh.
boy was like, "Hey, let's just go home and take a shower and figure this out."
Like he needed a Metro card, you know, like he had.
What song did y'all come out to? This is no ordinary love.
Why Florida, bro? What brought you down here?
Like family stuff, you know, my old man was moved out here for hospice care and stuff, and
Oh wow.
I came out here and I was you know, my family convinced me to come out here, and I did so, and then my family was like, hey, we're done here, we're gonna migrate elsewhere, and I was like, well, I'm pretty settled here.
Where'd they move to?
I don't
Next
know.
door, they just didn't want to.
I don't know. Yeah. No, they moved far away, dogs. They went to like Kissimmee or something like that. Like I don't know.
Wow.
They moved in with that other Smothers brother.
Look, you can't even tell the ring has a little hole in it, so when I pull it, it goes through and then it goes.
Yeah, nah, just everyone just went their own ways, and I was just like, you know what, we're just gonna stay. I say we settled here, but the truth is that we were stuck here, so we're making the best of it. And we've made a life here already. So,
But Florida
me and my wife.
Florida gets in you, man. When you finally become a true
Man, let me
Floridian,
tell
you
you
don't want to
something.
live nowhere else.
You ain't going nowhere. I've
You ain't
been
going
talking
nowhere,
that mess.
man.
I've been here since 04. I keep
Yeah,
saying, man, once my kids get old, I'm leaving. I ain't going
You ain't
nowhere.
And I said I
You
got
ain't
used
going
to it,
nowhere.
man, because it was like the first hurricane I ever had here. It was like I'm texting and calling everyone, saying my farewells. I'm like, bye, I love y'all. If anything happened,
Dang,
and then we had one that just bypassed us, and I'm here trying to see where the barbecue at.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what you hey, no, Marvin, that is facts. The year I moved here, they had 5 hurricanes.
Yeah.
5, 2004, 5 hurricanes. The one we just had, I was like, I told my wife, I said, I think I'm just gonna go into the office. She's like, okay. She wasn't even scared for me. She was like, all right, just be careful and
Sometimes I'm just wondering, like when a hurricane's coming, I'm like, is Publix open right now?
Yeah.
Or are they about to close?
Yeah.
And then you know what you do? You come in there, it's all windy, and what do? You see everybody like, man, thanks for staying open. Thanks for staying. And they're all like, hey, it's cool, man. I need my hours.
That's it.
Cow just flies by like in the movie Twister. Everybody's like, oh, Chick-fil-A's open.
They should offer her. You should get hurricane pay, like holiday pay. I feel like if you got to go in and there's a category 1 hurricane, that should be different levels of payment per category, bro.
Yeah.
If you got to go into work in Florida, you should
not be able to get a DUI during a hurricane too.
Yeah,
because if the minute the cop pulls me over, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you risking your life. Get back in that car, player. I back the blue. Come on, follow me. I know a bar that's open.
Hey,
this
man.
guy's a hero.
He takes him to his house.
Yeah,
hey, come on in.
The only thing I know I can rely on for sure is the Chinese restaurants, man. They opened during the hurricane.
Bro, they were open during the 1-child policy.
Bro,
They're gonna be open during the hurricane.
All of Florida could do a power outage, and they still running the grill with a battery generator in the back.
Hey, Marvin, we've said this on this show. If Waffle House is open, we fine.
Good.
If Waffle House is open, we know we are safe. You ain't got to worry about nothing Floridians if Waffle House is open. Yeah, and with that being said, we got to take a commercial break. This Friday, September 22nd, the Orlando Improv side stage, Marvin Izzy will be closing out the show. Nice. Show starts at 7:30. It is a complimentary show. You are more than welcome to just walk in and have a seat. We have had 45 people averaging every Friday, so make sure you guys check it out. But we got to take a commercial break. When we come back, I actually have something to talk about when it comes to hurricanes. I just found out something today that blew my mind when it comes to hurricanes. James, I'm like, me and my wife have argued about this for years, and today the truth finally comes out. So we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Real Laughs, we're Radio 104.1. We are back. Real Laughs, we're Radio 104.1. Your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. Guys, make sure you go out to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and follow us. If you miss any of our shows, go to iHeart, search Real Laughs, and you can listen to us in podcast format. James, for how many? 7
years. That's
and
right.
You want to see these beautiful on air 7 years, man, which is dope for this radio show, man. We're so excited, man. And we the only show on this station with Black, Spanish people. But
only one.
Only. Also, if you want to see these
At the same
beautiful
time,
ass,
at least at the same
time,
time.
at the same time.
Yeah.
If you want to see these beautiful faces, go to YouTube. Please go subscribe. We are triple our viewership in the past month. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of September. Thank y'all for listening, and thank you for everybody that comes up to the shows. Like this past weekend, walked up to me, man. Ken, we love the show. We're one of your 4 listeners, which means I know you listen to the show. So thank you so much, man. Join the virtual studio, Miguel Colon Jr., Marvin Izzy, who will be at the Orlando Improv Side Stage this weekend, and James John. But James, tell him how we making that money this week.
Cash rules everything around me.
Cream, get the money. All right, guys, you got to check out our new sponsor because he's putting on a great comedy show happening this Sunday. Sky High Stand-Up Comedy, Sunday, September 24th. We got Ali Flores. You guys have seen him on Funny Not Famous. You guys have definitely seen him around town doing comedy. One of the funniest guys I know. He makes everybody laugh. And he's bringing some funny people with him. He has Henry Pounders, Robin Love, Jay Blash, and Dewey Sean. If you guys want to get tickets for this show, go to Eventbrite right now. Type in Sky High Comedy. The doors open at 7 p.m. The show's at 7:30. It's all going down in Daytona. Tickets is only $10 at the Streamline Hotel. Don't forget, Sky High Stand-Up Comedy this Sunday, September 24th.
It's crazy because when you say Sky High, we always we think of Outkast, we think of Goody Mob, but I think of the skit.
Yeah, that's what
in
they
the
say.
record store. That's what they be saying. Sky High.
Yeah.
Sky High.
Man, got my family in the studio, man. So I gotta tell y'all this story, bro. So my wife and I have had this ongoing laughing joke about the rain percentage. So somebody told us that they said, so when you hear 30% chance of rain, you're thinking there's a 30% chance that there is going to be rain. Am I correct?
Yes,
that's what you think.
Absolutely. Yes.
This meteorologist just came out and debunked that, James.
Okay, I'm confused.
She said that when there's a 30% chance of rain, that means there is a 30% chance of rain in that area. That means in that area, 30% of their viewers are going to get rain, not a 30% chance of rain.
Yeah.
That means there's only a 30, like, so if you got this square, 30% of that square is going to get rain.
Kid, I heard that they're basically explaining that the map, 30% of what they're showing could get rain.
Bruh!
This is my best part. I figure like in meteorology school, it's like going to magic school. They're like, none of you say S about what you're about to hear. All right. First things first. Tropical storm, hurricane, all the same. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know
what's the difference. You know how we determine how fast the winds are? We call it. We roll a dice. If it's an even number, then it is this. If it's an odd number, and it's like, bro, how do we know about wildfires? We don't until I started seeing deer just running through the street. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I like how weathermen get to report wildfires. I'm like, that's not the weather, bro.
Yeah.
That's on the ground.
Al Roker.
So James, you like me?
Yeah, I thought 30% chance meant 30% chance of rain.
That means that on that map, 30% of that map is going to get rain.
That's like when a woman says there's a 0% chance you're hooking up. I'm like, so in this area?
Marvin, did you know that?
Yeah, you're telling me there's a chance.
No, I was the same as y'all, man. And I saw that same video that Ken's talking about, and I kind of just like got frustrated that I really thought it was.
I was gonna storm the Capitol.
Yeah, like,
what other lies are you telling us?
Like at this point right now, I'm just mad. Like I've seen so many videos on TikTok that shows me we've been doing everything wrong. So that just added to it. Like we can't even get the weather right.
Yeah.
Like we
And the only reason I believed it because it was a black meteorologist. If it was a white weather person, I'd be like, you see how I switched up the weather person. I can't say that other word. But
say the other word, yeah.
Hey, it was a black lady. I was like, yo, she looked like she tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
See, I saw it when I saw it. I saw it was a black lady. I was like, dang, they just be cutting funds at black weather stations, huh? We can only tell you 30% of the weather.
Dang.
I watch my weather news on BET.
That's funny.
I had me thinking because James, we joked about the Mandela effect.
We do.
Mandela effect with Patricio because Patricio ain't even a real person.
No, he's not.
And now I need to know more about stuff. Now I'm curious about everything.
There you
now.
go. See, that's what's gonna happen to you. Now you won't take anything at face value. You need to go research and debunk, and you need to make sure everything is what they say it is, man. Because you don't see TikTok done got you, bro. Now conspiracy theorist.
I'm starting to question things, man. I don't know. My wife really loved me.
I think she
I
does.
know mine don't.
No, B. I think it's a 30% chance. Hey, Jane, she loves 30% of men. You know what it is.
Yep.
Wow. Holy crap.
Idris elbow.
Bro, you know what
Bro.
it is, baby.
What's funny,
Huh?
kid, your 30% got preppy socialite written on it.
Hey, hey.
Joint's cloudy with precipitation. Like it's just
Hey, when I go on the road, I got a chastity belt on.
No.
My wife make sure don't nobody touch this.
It's been laminated. That's funny.
Think about all
She pours the
stuff-
wax on the tip of it like a good bottle of whiskey.
Like Maker's Mark. Like
Put
Maker's
the seal. Maker's Mark.
Your doctor pulls it out like, Ken, what's going on? I need you to drill a hole in this. I ain't peed in 3 days. My baby had me on the road.
Son, like the Maker's Mark.
And then
bro.
she presses her ring in the seal so that it has the mark.
That's right.
It's just preppy socialite.
Yeah, you
That's
start
funny.
hanging out with some girl, and she's like, "Ooh, you married? I know that mark from anywhere.
Married.
That's married mark right there.
That's
God,
married
get up
mark.
out of here. You ain't about to get me shot up." But think
funny,
about
bro.
all the stuff that you know about in life. What is something if somebody came to you and told you the opposite of it, you'll be like, "Get out of here. That ain't real."
Dude, I can answer that for you right now. Right before I even went live with you guys, my wife showed me a video how to use a door stopper.
What?
You know, when you open the door, you usually take it to the back and just let it connect to the door stopper. So, you know, because the whole point of it was to not slam against the wall, right?
Yeah, that's to make a hole.
Yeah. My wife just showed me what you do is you step on the door stopper and pull the door over it, and it will hinge to the bottom of the door and hold it open.
What?
Yeah. We've all been using door stoppers. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go
James,
ahead.
take over. I'm gonna go see.
I got
real
you.
quick.
Now, what we're gonna do? Marvin just told us. He just told us we've been all using door stops the wrong way. You're supposed to
We've been
step
using
on
everything
it
wrong.
and
Yeah.
pull the door open, and then it'll keep the door open.
Look, he's screaming. Look, he mad right now. You ain't hear that? He's like, God. He's like,
Bro, who knew how to do this? Like, who told someone and decided to pass it down on TikTok?
I don't know. It really just spans to us not reading the instruction manuals.
I don't think there were instruction manuals. In the
Yeah, they're
80s, they were
there.
just like, hey, man. Because now, you know, guns sometimes have like instruction manuals. In the 80s, it was like, hey, man, here's the rule. Don't be a bitch. Handle up.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, they're like, hey, can I point this? Can I point this at my head? I don't know, dog. You want to look cool AF? Do it.
You can't.
How was the results?
Oh man, wow.
All of my door stoppers are solid.
Oh.
So I didn't have to.
So the biddity one, you're supposed to step on that, open it, and then the biddity one will just hold it. Now, also, did it show you how you're supposed to beatbox with it? Because that used to be that was my machine right there. My homeboy would be on the fan doing auto tune. He's got the open up. Like, I'm not loving you. I'm like, bring, did it, bring, did it, bring, did it, bring.
I'm about to have an asthma attack. Trying to prove that. I had to prove this thing, bro. All of mine are solid, and I just stepped on one and broke it out of the wall. Now I got to put a new door stopper in. Thank you, Marvin.
Yeah, well, that was Big Doorstop is the one who made these fake ads so that people could break them. They're like, once you sell a doorstop, you never resell it. We need to come up with a TikTok challenge to break doorstops.
Yeah. Whew, man. All right, Miguel, what's something out there, man? Got to be something that you believe in that if somebody told you, hey, man, that ain't real, it'll blow your mind.
Like, is it something crazy or is it just something that like
it could be crazy? It could be anything.
All right, this is one that I get like fired up about. Is when people try to tell me the moon landing's fake. I get fired up about it because I'm from the era. I'm from the moon landing era where like that was a big achievement. We still have that on the world, you know. So like a lot of these young cats, they don't care because they weren't around during the Cold War. They don't know what it was like to throw it in Russia's face. Like, hey, y'all ain't got bread and you never been to the moon? What's up? The West Side. The West Side, you know? But, you know, because here's one of the reasons why. This is one of the things that I try to argue with people when we talk about the moonlight. Because everybody now goes, well, this TikTok video, this flag isn't moving and blah, blah, blah. Hey, man, I done seen it all. So I don't know. I don't know how flags work on the moon, player. All right? But I know this. I know in the history of the moon landing, when we were doing the heat of the Cold War, and all Russia ever wanted to do was make us look stupid. Not once did Russia ever say, yo, that's fake. Y'all didn't do that. So if Russia, in the history of its existence, continuing now, has never tried to debunk our moon landing, I think it's because it was real.
Yeah.
Because think about this. Just imagine we're in international high school, and we sitting there at the lunch table like, yo, you know the moon? Yeah, I got with the moon. No, you didn't, dog. Yeah, she came by. We was kicking it, man. Me and the moon. I landed on her. You did not land on the moon. Everybody be like, yo, I'm serious, man. Check out this picture with the flag. And they're like, oh, Russia's sitting there at that other table, and it's like, they're like, aren't you gonna say something? Like, no, I smelt his hand. He landed on the moon. You know? He's telling the truth. I hate him, but he's telling the truth.
Hands smell like moon rock.
Yeah, like cheese. You know.
Oh man, I tell you another one, man. I don't know what it is. Flat earthers.
Oh,
they really believe like you just gonna fall off.
Ken, let me argue this one. I always try to use with flat earthers. If I can't even begin to explain to you how frustrated flat Earth gets me. I'm like, there isn't a seafaring society in the year 16, in the year 300 BC. Anybody who was on the sea traveling knew the Earth was round. That's how they navigated the seas. A lot of people think like they think that. Remember, we had bad educational system when we were younger. Some people were trying to tell us Columbus, he wanted to prove that the Earth was round. Everybody on a ship knew the Earth was round. Poor people who were living in thatched huts didn't know the Earth was round. They didn't care. They just knew they didn't have a potato to eat today. That's all that mattered. That's all that came. If you would have came to a poor person and been like, "What do you think about the Earth being round?" They're like, "I'm so thirsty. Like, I'll get down on my knees and show you an around the world right now. If you just give me a potato, homie. Whatever you want. But flat earthers get on my nerves because one thing I always try to bring up to flat earthers, I say, just understand this to help you understand that the world can't be flat. My father boarded a ship from Norfolk, Virginia, and he took that ship, and that ship went around the Horn of Africa. It went through Asia. It went back. Came through the Panama Canal and went back to Norfolk. You can't do that if the Earth is flat. There's tons of things you can't do. Yeah. There's the thing called the Coriolis effect, where you have to take into consideration that when you're shooting long distances, you have to take into the consideration, are you shooting towards the tilt and the rotation of the Earth? That's for long distance shooting. Basically, what gets me mad about things like flat Earth and stuff is it is people who don't think of anything so to phrase this correctly, they say the Earth is flat because of this, but then they won't use any other evidence to justify that it's not. And all they keep doing whenever you hit them with evidence is, I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
What's the effect called again?
Coriolis effect or Coriolis effect?
Yes.
I think Coriolis effect.
That's why when I tried to snipe my wife's ex-boyfriend and missed.
It went to the left, Ken. It went to the left.
I should have been tilting. Okay, now I know. We got that commercial break. We'll be right back. Real Labs. We're Radio 104.1. We're Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. Guys, make sure you got the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please follow us.
Please man.
Go over to iHeart, search Real Labs. You can listen to us in podcast format for the past 7 years. And you're going to see these beautiful faces. Go to YouTube, subscribe. We have tripled our viewership in the past 30 days, and thank you guys so much for that. Join the virtual studio with James Jean, Miguel Colon Jr., and this Friday, at the Orlando Improv side stage, Marvin Izzy will be closing out the show, 7:30 complimentary show. So please make sure you come through. Marvin, you've been doing comedy for how long now?
13 years, sir.
13 years. Give me your top 5 favorite comedy specials.
My top 5 favorite comedy specials.
Dylon.
Nah, first one for me, it was got to be Chris Rock's Bigger, Blacker, Better. That's one right there. Eddie Griffin's Dysfunctional Family.
Okay.
I definitely like that George Lopez special. What was it? Why You
Why
Crying?
you crying? Yeah, that's
Yeah, that
fire.
was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was one with Ralphie May. I just can't remember the name of
Scuba
it.
diving one. They went scuba diving.
That
Cool, but
one.
that one.
Yes, sir. And number 5 for me was yeah, man. George Carlin, his last special. The one in like what was it, 2000, 99, 2000?
No,
His
it was one after
last
that.
special.
I believe it was one after that.
Yeah, just
I I
right
would tell
before he
you
passed. Yeah.
one special that don't get enough love, but we've all seen it over and over again growing up watching HBO. Son of a Preacher Man, Sinbad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
Sinbad
we
was
used to
fire.
pure fun. We would watch
Because you
his
can watch it with
special
your
every 2
family.
years. Yeah,
Mhm.
man. And he was funny as hell, man. But I'm just thinking about all the specials I've seen, and it's funny that we don't mention him in that conversation. But Sinbad was the man,
Oh yeah, Sinbad had
bro. The man, dude.
because comedy. I feel like comedy is in that hip hop realm where you
Mhm.
have a 5-year window where you're
Yeah.
the hottest
Yeah.
thing on.
Mhm.
They're rappers. Go look at it, like Nelly's and the Ja Rules in the
Yeah.
50s. They have a 5-year reign where you
It's
can't
short.
touch
It's
them.
shorter now.
But
It's
when it
shorter
comes
now.
to
Yeah.
comedy,
Yeah.
comics will have that reign about 5 years where in the early 90s it was like Martin, and then after Martin, and then Jamie Foxx was running stuff, and then Dave, and then Cat, and then Kev, and
Kev.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Mhm.
when I say I mean the big dogs, there's still comics working, but I'm talking about the cats that was like selling out theaters and stuff like that. I would say for me, one special I felt that was slept on more than anything is Damon Wayans' The Last Stand. It
I
is
don't even know if I've
Really?
seen it. I don't think I've seen it.
I don't
it
think
is,
I've
and you can go watch it right now on YouTube, and it's still funny and relevant today. Because that was like one of my favorite comics when I started. You know, when I was in high school years, and I was thinking about doing stand
That's
up.
one he did where he was talking about his son, and his son was a nerd. Like, morning, dad.
Good
Like
morning,
that one.
Dad.
Yeah.
Spaghetti again.
That was a
Yeah.
good one.
You know what's
That's a good one.
I don't know if it's. I would tell you this. This special is. I think a lot of like Black Latino comedy fans never watched this special, and it's sad because it's fire. Ron White, you can't fix stupid.
Yes,
I don't know if
I've
you've ever
seen it.
watched
Is that
Ron
tater
White.
Hell yeah.
salad?
That's Tater Salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
But one of
man.
his jokes is he says he got pulled over. I think it was in Melbourne, Florida. He goes, the police came to search my plane. He's like, I have a plane, because of y'all. And he's like,
Funny,
and the
bro.
police said, you got any weed on this plane? And I said, nope. He's like, and they searched the plane. They came back and said, Mr. White, we found 0.5 gram of marijuana on this plane. I thought you said you didn't have any. He said, officer, when I'm down to 0.5 gram, I consider myself out of marijuana.
He right though.
Yeah. Yo, and then another fire joke is when he said he was at the club and the bouncers came outside. He's like, and they had like 8 bouncers walk outside. He goes, now, I don't know how many of them it was going to take to whoop my ass, but I knew how many they were going to use.
He's funny, bro.
And he is, and the way he sets it
Delivery.
up with the slowness
Yeah.
and yeah, man. So Marvin, who's like your comedy? Who influences you with comedy? Like who you look up to? Who's the influence for Marvin?
It's honestly, it's always been Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin's
Okay.
fire.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always been Eddie Griffin. But what really was
They had them
like,
sneakers in that green room, bro.
Have my Air Force Ones.
I guess what really pushed and kind of lit that fire, it was like way before I even thought of ever doing comedy or anything. One of my favorite movies from him was Foolish, which is literally him just going through his experience while doing stand-up comedy.
Got it.
And when I started doing it, that's kind of where I wanted to aspire, like, get like the growth and hit the stage and get my own Master P that
Yeah.
that can support me and do a show, but not sleep with my ex-girlfriend. You
I
know
mean,
what I
hey
mean?
man, you want so what, man? You want the omelet, but you ain't gonna break an egg,
Come on, baby.
bro.
Come on,
Everything
baby.
costs in this
But-
game. Monkey
yeah,
paw,
Everything costs.
Hit
Everything
the
costs,
monkey
baby.
paw, right? Yeah.
monkey paw, bro.
Funny.
Nah, but Foolish
is
was
so
kind of
funny.
like the highest motivation behind that, man. And once I blindly got into comedy is when I actually started studying comedy for real and was just like, oh, now I don't get to look at these specials like I used to anymore.
Yeah.
Sit down and genuinely laugh. Now I look at them and go, okay, that's an art form that I need to try to figure out how to work myself.
There you go.
And that's where I stand now. Like
what worked.
in all my years of doing comedy, I've never in my life, and I'll never get a chance to, is to see a live comedy act as an audience member. Because I've never went to a live stand-up comedy show before I started doing comedy. I just went in there 10 minutes of just me and my friend being cool, like being stupid about it. And I will never get to see a comedy show as a live audience member. It's crazy.
Now, who are some of the people that you got to see that you actually admire, though? I mean, the big dogs that you've actually got to see live. Because me and Ken were just talking. I'm going to go see Dave Chappelle for the very first time next month. I've never seen him live, and that's crazy.
See him Hard Rock
twice.
I've seen him a couple times. Yeah,
Hard Rock were some of the good days, man, because it was
so
small.
Now Bob Carr for me.
Okay, that's Bob Carr. Yeah.
Bob Carr, So Marvin, who's
well, I never got to pay tickets to go see one of the legends or so, but I did compete for like an audition slot in a comedy club, and I had a nice 10:30 slot, which was nice and good, and got bumped by Charlie Murphy.
Wow. Charlie Murphy.
No,
it was gonna go.
Dude, he went an hour and 15 or so, or like an hour and 30. So by the time I got up, it was like already like close to 12 something or so, and the venue was gone. Like everybody was empty.
Ken, you and James, you've got to at least meet and work with Charlie Murphy before.
No,
I never get to meet. I got to meet him in the not in the green room. It was in the it wasn't the green room, but have you guys ever, real quick, have you guys ever been in the green room but refused to go inside because you feel like a little intimidated? You're like standing in the doorway. That's how it was with me. I was standing in the doorway. Charlie Murphy had come by. I don't think he did the Monsters in the Morning, but he had done radio, and he knew all those guys. Because one of the things, hey, shout out, if you guys listen to our show, and you probably listen to the Monsters and everybody else, what you guys don't know is how many of your favorite comedians who have worked for decades, who built their career, who look at Russ and the Monsters as their homies for life.
They do.
For life.
Monique,
man. I got my first celebrity like guest spot was Monique, and it was because she came on the Monsters. But I remember I got to meet Charlie Murphy, and I don't remember who was the comic who was with me, but one of the coolest things was Charlie Murphy had already done Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories. We were all used to that from the Chappelle Show. And we were over in the green room, and he started just telling a story. And it wasn't like the wildest story, but he was just like, yo, Eddie had this dude. And he talked about how Eddie had this dude when they would go to the club sometimes, and they would go in there. They knew all the girls were going to come to Eddie. So Eddie had a dude who would sometimes come around and be like, hey, fellas, let me buy y'all a round of drinks. Let me take care of your tab, because he knew there was going to be hate. Because Eddie had drained the club of girls. And then Charlie was like, and I don't remember the dude. He's like, the dude would go over and like, he would see a table full of girls hanging out with a couple guys. And some of these guys, they be somebody from the street or something. And the girls would get up to go see Eddie. So, Charlie's like, the dude would sometimes come by and be like, hey man, Eddie wants to buy you all a round of drinks. He's like, and most of the times everybody would be gentlemen about it because they knew they want to mess with Eddie and his entourage. But Charlie was like, but when the dude was talking to the guys, Charlie would be standing there straight up flexing. He's like, nostrils flaring, just looking at the dudes. He's like, and Charlie's like, straight up B, I be giving them options right there. Option one, he's like, enjoy your cocktail and have a nice anecdote about the time you ran into Eddie Murphy. He's like, option two, meet his brother Charlie.
Bro,
he was funny.
Bro, he was the bad guy in CB4.
Yeah, he was Gusto, man. Mr. Gusto.
That's
before. I didn't even know that was him when I watched it when I was a kid. I didn't even realize that was Eddie Murphy's brother.
Absolutely, man. No, I didn't know either.
He's the one. I don't know what special it is. A Raw or Delirious, where a woman shouts something out in the crowd, and then you hear somebody shout, "Hey, bitch, shut up!" That's Charlie. Oh, Eddie's taping.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
that's funny,
no, dude. Man. So like after I got bumped by Charlie, I did my set and waited for my results, and I was outside just having a cigarette, and Charlie comes out of the car and walks right up to me and asks us for a light. So I give him a lighter, and he just stands right next to me, and me and him are just quietly smoking a cigarette. I just looked
That's
at him.
funny. You're not saying a word. Like,
nah, just let it be. Like, he was like, you got a lighter? I'm like, sure. I was on the phone with my wife. I hung up on her.
Yeah.
Me and him were just standing next to each other smoking. I just looked at him like, everything good? And he was like, yeah, everything all right. And
Charlie Murphy, man.
And then my phone's ringing. I'm ignoring my wife, and I'm just here like, what the hell do I say? And it turned out it was better to say nothing because he just looked at me. Was like, he was like, yo, good looking for the lighter, bro. Appreciate that. And then he like commented on this beanie that I had because it was a beanie with a spork. So it was
a beanie with a sport.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, bro, I like your beanie. It's stupid.
It's
Do me a favor, bro. We gonna smoke a cigarette out here. Take that hat off. I don't like that hat. Put it back on. You can put it back on when I leave.
He just got in his car and told the driver to go.
Hey, we about to go play some basketball with Prince. You want to go?
Yeah.
Man.
Do me a favor though. The hat. I ain't feeling that. You got two options. You can remove the hat, put it back on when I leave, or I can take the hat.
Yo, he like, we're gonna play with Prince. Prince don't like sporks. So
Best thing somebody ever. A club owner was talking to me about Charlie Murphy because he had just performed there a couple weeks before, and the club owner goes, "Man, Charlie Murphy don't smile. He shows you his teeth."
Yeah.
Dude, like he has some big teeth. Like that's not something exaggerated. Like on camera.
Charlie Murphy will prison punk you.
Because while he was on stage, while he bumped me, of course, I went inside to watch the set. He's just out there just telling jokes. And one of his closer was dope though. His closer was just like, when it comes to relationships, you need to find 3 good qualities in a woman. 1, you need to find yourself a woman who can cook. Make sure she feed that stomach and feed the soul. 1 who can clean, make sure to keep the house tidy, keep everything good. The other one is to take care of you, make you feel good in the bed, please you and everything. Now, the most important thing about this whole thing that I say is that you got to make sure none of them meet each other.
Yeah. And with that being said, we got to get up out of here. We got a minute left. Marvin, this Friday, the Orlando Improv Side Stage.
Real complimentary, baby.
Marvin, tell them where they can find you at, bro.
Check me out this Friday on the side stage at the Orlando Improv. This Friday, September 22nd, 7:30 p.m. Come see me and a couple of my comedy buddies that's going to be there. My host, Kel Sunta, my opening act, Salty Aaron, and one of my close friends as well is Dwayne Burton. So this is going to be fun. This is complimentary. Come through and see this foolishness, nonsense, and this foul mouth that I had started with in the beginning. My bad.
Yeah, good. James, where you at this weekend, dog?
This weekend, you guys can catch me in Rockledge, Florida. I'm going to be at Twisted Birch. Shout out to Eugene Singleton and Christopher Robinson for putting it on, man. I'm going to be with Joe Latham. Y'all come check us out. Let me put some funny in your life.
Miguel, where you at this weekend, man?
Man, I'm not doing any shows. I'm just going to check out the Jizza, the RZA, Inspector Deck, You God, Method Man, Raekwon the Chef, and I actually messed it up. And Ghostface. And we'll watch Method Man again, who probably won't come because he's shooting power.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Friday, I'm in Stuart, Florida, man. But we got to get up out of here. Make sure this Sunday, Streamline Comedy, the Streamline Hotel. Please go check them out. $10 tickets. If you Google it, Streamline Comedy, you'll see everything's going on there. We got to go. Marvin, thanks for kicking it with us. That's Miguel. That's James. James, tell them what to do.
Take your ass to bed.
Good night.